A shocking act of violence recently occurred in a public park. This brutal incident unfolded in Kissena Park, located in Flushing, Queens, New York City. The date of this disturbing event was May 2nd. The incident involved a group of teenagers. They launched a vicious attack on two young girls. This assault resulted in severe physical injuries and profound emotional trauma for the victims. Crucially, the entire incident was captured on video. This footage is graphic and deeply disturbing. The video quickly circulated, sparking widespread outrage and urgent calls for justice from the community and beyond. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. The victims of this assault were two young girls. One victim is a 13-year-old girl. The other victim is a 16-year-old girl. These two girls were friends. They were together in the park, simply playing basketball, when they were confronted by the group of attackers. Both victims are of Chinese descent. It has been reported that the victims knew their attackers prior to this incident. The perpetrators were identified as a group of older teenagers. Reports indicate the group included at least 4 individuals who are 17 years old. A 16-year-old was also reportedly part of the attacking group. Like the victims, the attackers also appeared to be of Asian descent. This detail adds a complex layer to the community's reaction. It is understood that the attackers were known to the victims before the assault took place. A confrontation began while the two girls were playing basketball. The group of attackers approached them, initiating an argument. This verbal dispute quickly escalated into physical violence. The attackers forcibly dragged the two girls away from the basketball court. They were taken to a secluded, wooded area within the park. It was in this isolated location that the brutal assault occurred. During the attack, the perpetrators used weapons. A baseball bat was reportedly used in the assault. A portable hair clipper was also utilized by the attackers. One of the most disturbing details involves the 16-year-old victim. Her head was partially shaved by the attackers using the portable hair clipper. This act appeared intended to humiliate and terrorize. The 13-year-old victim suffered horrific injuries. While she was on the ground, she was repeatedly struck with the baseball bat. The force and frequency of these blows were severe. The violence was so extreme that one of the girls lost consciousness during the ordeal. The trauma inflicted was overwhelming. By the end of the attack, the 13-year-old girl appeared limp. Her condition was visibly critical. The 16-year-old victim also suffered greatly. After the attack concluded, she struggled significantly to speak. The physical and psychological impact was immediate and debilitating. She was left with massive bruises covering her back. The extent of her injuries highlighted the brutality of the assault. Following the attack, both victims were left severely injured. They were bruised and swollen from the physical assault. Beyond the physical wounds, both girls were left deeply traumatized by the experience. The emotional scars from such a vicious and prolonged attack are profound and long-lasting. Adding insult to injury, theft occurred during the incident. The attacker stole personal belongings from the victims. This element contributed to the legal classification of the crime. The 13-year-old victim's sneakers were stolen. These were specific limited edition Air Jordan 4s, white Oreos, valued at $558. The theft of such an expensive item underscores the predatory nature of the crime. The 16-year-old victim's phone was also stolen. This act not only deprived her of a valuable possession, but also potentially removed evidence and a means of communication for help. The theft compounded the violation the girls endured. Significant evidence exists documenting the crime. Video footage captured the brutal nature of the attack in detail. This video is central to understanding the severity of what occurred. The video was shared publicly by an advocacy group. The group is known as Asians with Attitudes, or AWA. Their decision to share the footage aimed to raise awareness and pressure authorities. Based on the theft that occurred, police are currently treating the incident as a robbery. This classification is standard when property is taken during an assault. However, this classification has been met with criticism. The victims' families are calling for a more thorough investigation. They believe the incident was far more than just a robbery. Their perspective highlights the extreme violence involved. The families have described the attack in harrowing terms. They characterize the assault as an attempted execution. This language reflects the perceived intent and severity of the violence inflicted upon their daughters. A community advocate also weighed in on the nature of the crime. They described it as a planned, vicious, and inhumane assault. The advocate further labeled the attack as torture. These descriptions emphasize the premeditation and cruelty involved. Despite the extreme violence and the community's perception, the incident has not been officially deemed a hate crime by authorities at this time. This lack of a hate crime designation is a point of contention for some. The investigation into motive is ongoing. A New York City Police Department has been actively investigating the case. Their efforts have led to arrests. NYPD has arrested 5 individuals in connection with the attack. These arrests occurred over a period of time as the investigation progressed. The police worked to identify and apprehend those involved based on evidence, including the video footage. The individuals arrested face serious charges. Charges include felony robbery, reflecting the theft that occurred during the assault. They also face charges of assault, directly related to the physical violence inflicted on the victims. More severe charges include gang assault, acknowledging the group nature of the attack. Charges of strangulation have also been filed, indicating specific acts of violence during the ordeal. Harassment charges are included, pointing to the torment inflicted. Weapons possession charges relate to the baseball bat and potentially other items used. Finally, grand larceny charges cover the theft of the victim's valuable property. This incident in Kissena Park did not occur in isolation. It happened in the same park that was the site of a prior serious crime less than a year before. That previous incident also involved a young victim and significant violence. Less than a year prior, a teenage girl was raped in Kissena Park. This earlier crime also deeply disturbed the community and raised concerns about park safety. The victim in that prior case was also 13 years old, the same age as one of the victims in the recent attack. The perpetrator in the prior rape case was identified as a 25-year-old migrant. This detail became a point of discussion in the community and media. The earlier attack involved the victim being tied up at knife point, highlighting a pattern of extreme violence in the park. The attacker in the prior rape case was subsequently indicted. He faced multiple serious charges. These included kidnapping, robbery, sexual assault, and rape. The history of such severe crimes in Kissena Park adds a layer of urgency to the community's demand for action and safety improvements. The recent brutal assault on the 2 girls tragically underscores these ongoing concerns about violence in public spaces.